universe of the Fallout series is a wild and diverse one. Bewildering events happen and even more far-fetched things exist in it. Although that's cool and all, those topics aren't the ones I'll be discussing today. I'm going to be looking at Fallout 76 as a whole, separate from all the other video essays about it. Only from my experiences and my time playing it, including what I can remember from the stress test, the beta, or as they called it, the Break It Early test application, as Todd Howard liked to announce it was. While Appalachia, player vending, the PvP rework / nerf, Wastelanders 1 Wasteland for All update, Steel Rain, Steel Dawn Locked and Loaded update, Invaders from Beyond, and whatever else I was playing for, like all the expeditions. I remember a decent chunk about the beta. I played it with some close friends. The beta was when people, and a little bit of myself, knew this was going to be a poorly made, terribly executed game with a lot of bugs, glitches, and exploits. At least the beta was fun. By the end of the beta, I knew I was getting my money's worth, and I was eager to see what else there was to do. Since I had gotten to level 20, I hadn't really done anything other than just kill stuff for the most part. I didn't know at the time that the worst was only to come, the enhanced instability of the game, the legendary enemies not dropping legendaries, the garbage PvP, and the base destruction system were all too prevalent to not be mentioned. The regions or biomes, if you want to call them that, are much larger and different from one another in a few ways. They were different from a lore standpoint, enemy spawns, loot, flora and fauna, and the locations found in the regions. The forest, which is the starting player for all new players, it's much more tame and traditional, not in the sense of a Fallout game, but more in the sense of a hilly forest, some grassy plains with some towns, 2 airports, a power plant. A notable location is the old Arctos Pharma headquarters and underground lab, which lay smack dab in the middle of the region. There's also the Mothman town of Point Pleasant, Sutton, where you might find a familiar face and voice, and a big lighthouse on a hill with a summoning ritual every now and again. Thick black smog and ash cover the region, fire bellowing out from cracks in the ground due to underground mine fires still raging on supposedly since the bombs dropped. This is the ash heap as we know it now. There's old mines, corporate testing sites, and camps littered around. Train yards and railroads, a couple of mining towns, and the old world relics of the 2 largest mining conglomerates in Appalachia, those being the old Garahan Mining HQ and the Hornwright Industrials Rockhound Excavator. There's one more notable site, the Big Bend Tunnel, the west entrance, which leads to the Cranberry Bog. It's now currently occupied by the Blue Ridge Caravan Company. The Toxic Valley is a barren hellscape full of radioactive and toxic water pools and white ash that covers most of the ground, all stemming from the sabotage of the Grafton Steel Mill by an insane and disgruntled former employee, and the Grafton Steel Mill management ignoring the issues and long-term problems caused by the sabotage, causing the detriment of this valley. The mire is basically a large, murky and dank swamp, with a bunch of overgrown buildings and vehicles being forcibly reclaimed by nature. Furthermore, thick strangler lines have become a standard site for the region's new native flora, all stemming from an accident with the local vault's GEC malfunctioning and activating in the region. There's a few towns, the remnants of the Brotherhood of Steel's early base camp, and a few secrets to find in the region, alongside some oddities like all the other regions. Also, there's a power plant like in the Forest and Savage Divide, because the region has to get power from somewhere. The Savage Divide is definitely up there for one of the most visited and nuked areas in Fallout 76, from my experiences, at least until they nerfed the White Springs. The White Springs golf course and resort used to be nuked a lot due to the already high-level enemies that spawned there being buffed after the nukes dropped, and most becoming legendaries and rewarding a great deal of XP. Now the region is nuked at Monongah Mine, so the new endgame boss will spawn. Earl the Wendigo Colossus is what spawns there. We'll get to him later. The region is rather mountainous and appears hard to traverse on foot, mainly due to there being a giant mountain range that runs throughout most part of that region. I don't remember much about the stress test. What I do remember, though, is a few people getting banned for violating the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement that stated something along the lines of you can't stream, clip, record, or post anything about the stress test because we want to make money and dick over as many unsuspecting, naive, and blindly hopeful buyers and players as much as possible. I remember a streamer getting banned for violating the NDA. I'm not exactly sure if I'm remembering that correctly. The stress test was only up for a day, if I remember correctly, and I can't believe they put an NDA on it. I just can't believe that. So mainly what I wanted to bring up in this video essay, I'm going to be going off script for a while, is that 76 is a very interesting game. It has a lot of flaws, but it's far better than what it used to be. Far, far better. And for the most part, I enjoy the game to this day. It does get tiring sometimes, but that's most games out there to begin with. I really enjoy playing this game with my friends. I'm gonna be saying a lot, because I'm going unscripted, and I'm better with a script, but I can condense my thoughts better without a script for some reason. To an extent. But, I enjoy the game a lot. I like the environment of it. I wish more people would try it, especially in my friend group for the most part. The game's... it's changed. It's changed a lot. There's a lot more stuff to do. There's multiple quest lines now. I don't know why my mic just peaked. It's fucking weird. But, just in case I have to edit out that part. There are multiple more storylines now. There's the Wastelanders, there's the Steel Rain, Steel Dawn, stuff like that. They're coming in with the expeditions next, like the expedition free roam area. And, it's going to be Atlantic City, from what I recall. I haven't looked at the new dev deep dive, because I haven't really been keeping up with the game for quite some time. It's been like a month or two since I looked into the game further. They're gonna be going into the Shenandoah National Park, which will be pretty cool later down the line. Which is gonna mean that they're gonna be expanding the main map area past the ash heap. And, the game it just feels different compared to when it launched. Far, far different. There's a lot more stuff to do, and I'm ecstatic whenever people try the game, or people in my comment sections on my 76 videos, which are rare when people comment on my videos that aren't the Resident Evil 2 video. Whenever they comment that, like, hey, I play 76 too, or I enjoy this game, it brings me a little bit of hope that this game can keep on going and have such a positive community. Because the game has one of the most positive and supportive communities out of any other game I've ever played. And I've been, like, on Xbox for, like, more than 10 years now. I've been playing on PC since, like, I want to say, like, 2008, 2009. And it's honestly insane how good the community is. How supportive they are of new content, how supportive they are of new players. I've seen high-level players help out low-level players on the regular. I've done the same thing. Like, just before I was recording footage, I'm gonna put it in. There was a guy that was a far lower level than me that had given me a bunch of plans. I already knew all of them, so I didn't pick any of them up. But it just shows how much compassion there is with this community, and how helpful they are. That even a person that's like in the hundreds compared to me, I'm like almost level 900. I think I am level 900 now. This guy was like at 160 something, and he had given out a bunch of fucking plans, like over 100 plans, easily over 100 plans. He gave them to me. I didn't pick them up, but it was just insane that someone would do that. And some of the planes weren't like, they weren't common planes, some of them. Some of them are rare planes. But, it's honestly crazy on how helpful the community is. When this game had launched, there was a lot of issues. There was crashing, there was disconnects, there was... the game just didn't seem worth playing. Any sort of progress you did would be undone within like 20 minutes of playing, maybe even less. As the game's lifetime progressed, it got better. You could play for a longer amount of times without crashing. I'm on the Series X. One of my friends is on the Series S. My brothers are on the X. They've played the game. It's insane because the game just doesn't crash anymore if you're on the newer hardware, which is unfortunate for the lower, like for the older consoles. It's unfortunate for them. But if you're able to get your hands on one of the new consoles, and you play 76 or you want to try it, get it on the new consoles. It's far better. But for the most part, the game is insane. It's insane how far it's come. I'm probably just gonna keep the beginning rundown of this of this video, where it's like the regions and stuff, and just not at all. I'm probably not gonna like put in the rest of the script. I'm just gonna go unscripted, because this is going far better than I thought it would.